Hello there. Welcome to the Force Collective. We are back again with some more Star Wars topic stuff, more discussing of the Bad Batch. But we're not going to start off just yet. Actually, we're just going to sort of mention a few things. We will have more coming in on the stream in just a little bit. So that's why I want to just make a brief mention of a thing or two. So, anyway, The Mandalorian comes out on the 1st of March. So
Yay.
soon. Yeah, I know, right? The trailer looks really good. Like all the trailers do, actually. I'm super excited. What's got me more excited is that we are going to have two Star Wars shows going on at once because I'm pretty sure the Bad Batch isn't ending on March 1st. So I feel like we're going to have two things to discuss at once. That's going to put a lot on us on these Star Wars Topics episodes, isn't it?
Yes, I think it will.
It's all right. We'll be fine. Anyway, I'm here with Chrono. So how are you, Chrono?
Just fine, thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Commander Tano had a flight. So, she's not here at the moment for those reasons. She should be here pretty soon. I'm hoping. Anyways, she may or may not have watched the last two episodes of The Bad Batch. Who knows? But you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and start with it. While you're here. That and I don't exactly know what to say that isn't related to the Bad Batch at the moment. Unless you got something you want to talk about before we start.
Well, I don't think there's. I mean, if we're sticking to Star Wars stuff, there's not much going on right now. I mean, only the Bad Batch.
I know that's the whole reason why I'm having a hard time with this. There was some stuff I'd heard about recently. About like let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy for a second. So recently I heard that she was banned off the set of Indiana Jones 5.
Really?
Yeah. I can't exactly remember why, but she was furious. They won't allow her on the set, and I think they were doing a lot of cuts to the movie. Apparently, now I'll have to look up the budget for this movie, but apparently it is the biggest budget they've ever had for a movie. And I'm just thinking, like, they're doing a lot of reshoots, they're cutting out a lot of things. I think they realized that they were about to mess up with that movie, and they were trying their best to maybe make it decent. I don't know. That's what I've been hearing, but give me a second. I'm going to look up that budget.
Well, given the plot that was leaked, that we still don't know if it was true, but if it was, this idea of passing on the torch to this other woman and who just came out of nowhere and replacing Indy, that was going to fail epically. That there was no way people would have accepted that.
Yeah, I agree. Oh. Hello there. Greetings from America. Nice.
Hey.
Dr. Mad Studio. It's nice to see you on here. Anyways, so I'm looking it up right now. I can't seem to find it yet. Hold on. I'll get it eventually. But yeah, apparently something's going on behind the scenes with that movie. One thing I did hear is that they were going to make a lot of jokes about Indiana Jones's age.
Yeah,
and
probably.
Henry Ford didn't like that too much, and I think they were cutting out some of it. I know that's something.
Actually, that's another thing. I mean, Harrison Ford has been very upfront about not caring a lot about doing any more of this kind of stuff. He's old. He doesn't want to be in it. You could tell, even back in Star Wars, even before this got so derailed.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. I wish I was that lucky. That was cool. That's cool. Man, how do you get so lucky, buddy? How do you get so lucky?
You never get any crew filming something over there where you live?
Not down here where I'm at. The only thing that's crazy around here is the weather.
Well, maybe if Star Wars ever goes back to Hoth, they can use your location.
I don't know. They what they should do is create a planet that has like weather that changes every other like second.
Every 2 hours?
And every 2 hours, yeah. Weather that changes every 2 hours. And our area would be a perfect location. Let's see.
It's because it's not that you're actually misrepresenting the weather. It's not that you have crazy weather. You have diverse weather.
Well, I know. I'm sort of being dramatic, but it's still it is crazy weather down here. Let's see. So on this article here that I found, let me see if I can find where it says the amount. I know it says it somewhere. According to Forbes, Disney confirmed this June's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which I hate that name, by the way.
Yeah, it sounds stupid.
A shocking budget of $294.7 million, which is a lot of money. Yeah. And there's a list. There's a list right here. Before I get to that, I'm doing great. I'm doing great right now. Not much happening on my end. Been feeling a bit under the weather for the last several days. I'm sorry about that, buddy. I really hate to hear that. I hope you feel better. I really do. I hope you feel better. And so far, doing good. Just here to talk some Star Wars stuff. Waiting for hopefully a couple other people to show up. We got some stuff to talk about for the Bad Batch and all that, But since I'm waiting on them, I want to, sort of talk about something not related at the moment, just so we can get everybody in and talk all together instead of having to separate the topic. But, it is what it is. This right here is very interesting, though. Remember Solo, a Star Wars story?
Yes.
Well, don't worry.
How do we forget?
Don't worry, I haven't got COVID, just a minor cold and cough. Oh, well, that's good. I'm very glad you don't have COVID. COVID ain't fun. And I'm glad it's just a cough. Well, I mean, I hate that it's that, but yeah, better than COVID. But anyways, the point I was making is Solo, a Star Wars story, had a budget of $275 million. And now Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny, has $294.7 million. And if Solo didn't tell us anything about, reshoots and all that stuff, you got to maybe. Oh, yeah. I don't want to expect the worst because I love Indiana Jones, but at the same time, that's not a good sign. It's really not a good sign. And the way they've been talking about like the how Disney's doing financially. I mean, we were just talking about that. Commander Tano knows more about it than I do. But the way they've been doing financially, it's just not been so good.
And especially right now with Ant-Man failing so hard, I don't think they're going to be allowed to fail that much anymore because investors and the people in charge are going to be like, you know what, we can just lose money with every damn movie we put out.
Hey, yeah, you go see it with your dad. Look, I'm all for forming your own opinion. Like, a lot of people don't seem to like Ant-Man, and I like it actually. I went and watched it on my birthday, and I mean, it's not my favorite movie, but I like it, and I don't understand where all the hate's coming from. But then again, I've only watched it once, and I'm all for forming your own opinion about things, not letting other people form it for you. I've sort of realized that over the years. So yeah, you go watch that. You enjoy it. I hope you and your dad enjoy it. I really do. I hope it's a good movie. I really do. Because trust me, I love the other ones and I want this one to do really good as well. But I'm just worried due to the fact that the budget has been increasing, and all the cuts that I've been hearing about and reshoots. I'm hoping that that fixes it, but they're going to lose money on this due to the budget being so high. If people don't go watch it, they'll be lucky to break even. And I mean, if it's successful, if it's a good movie, I hope it does at the very least break even. That's one thing that that worries me about it. I'm hoping it does do good though. But yeah, they that was part of the whole debacle that I've heard, that the budget's really high, and that Kathleen Kennedy has been pulled off the set. Like, they banned her from the set for some reason. I have no idea why, but that's some of the news that I've been hearing too. I don't know how true it is.
Also, Star Wars related, they say that she and Favreau are fighting over Mandalorian stuff currently.
Really?
Yeah, it's been said back channel that they might be battling over creative decisions on Mandalorian, because you remember that Filoni and Favreau like kind of got this like okay, the Mandalorian is yours, you do whatever you like with it, and she's supposed to not interfere, but they are saying that they are fighting over some of the stuff, and yeah, I can totally see that, because of course she would want to put her ideas in everything, but I'm pretty sure they are not going to just allow her to mess up the Mandalorian.
I don't think they will either. And honestly, I thought that she didn't have any power over creative anymore. Then again, I probably misinterpreted, but like, isn't Dave Filoni like over the creative side now?
Yeah, he's supposed to be like president of something. That was his title, and he's supposed to be like the one to decide.
Commander Tano.
Yay!
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey, I may be brief. It's going all right. I may actually be leaving you all again soon, because I just got off a plane, and I can't use my card. I can't use my GPS and stream at the same time.
Oh,
which is a problem.
Ah, dang. Hey, you just need to be safe. That's the main priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as I get my bearings, and if you all are still on, I'll hop back on. But yeah, I just kind of I wanted to briefly say, in case I don't get back to you all in time and you all end before I get home. Those 2 episodes, it's like the first episode was how you should do a filler episode, and the second episode to me felt just filler episode, how you should not do a filler episode. It wasn't like Lady Pirate, but it was like whatever. But the one before that, the one I was like, oh my goodness, like my only criticism was I wanted more of it. I wanted more character development for Tech, and that was so good.
Yeah, I know. It's like that little scene where they were sitting in front of the water like that, and Omega and Tech were talking. Any scene like that, especially with Tech, has actually been hitting me, and I love it so much. I really want to see more of it, just like you. I really do.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh my goodness, that was so good. I hope we get more of that. But yeah, that was like that's my 2 cents. In case I don't get to give any other cents for the rest of the evening, that was it. Yeah.
Hey, that's good. At least we got to hear your opinion, because I was thinking it's just going to be me and Chrono for a little bit, because Sir AOA hasn't showed up either. So at least we got to hear your 2 cents.
Wonderful. And you may hear more. We'll see. We'll see how soon I can get unlost. But yeah, anyways, well, to be continued.
Alrighty.
You probably wouldn't want to hear me screaming on the road anyway. I turn into an Australian. So.
Well, now I definitely need to hear that.
Careful what you wish for. But anyways, I'll be back. But yeah, good. That first episode was worth it. But yeah, I'm ready to get to the main plot.
Yes, me too.
See y'all.
See ya. Thanks.
Okay, stay safe.
All right. Let's see. Oh, in the meantime, I've been listening to some Star Wars novel audiobooks. Most of them are from Legends. Nice. Which ones have you been listening to?
Also non-canon. Also non-canon.
Oh,
right?
no.
Because it's no longer canon.
Oh, well, yeah, unfortunately. He said most of them are Legends, so I'd say there might be a few canon ones in there. But the Legends ones, though, like, my favorites are like are the Heir to the Empire trilogy. Those are my favorite ones. I listened to all three of them. I really love those.
I haven't checked those out, but I hear good things about them.
Man, if you haven't read or listened to the audiobook of Heir to the Empire, Dark Forces Rising, and The Last Command, you really need to. You really need to. They're so good. They really made me appreciate Thrawn that much more.
Well, I can probably check them out now that I saw Rebels, and so I won't be disappointed.
Well, besides nerfing Thrawn with by having very incompetent people at the helm, basically, this version of Thrawn in Heir to the Empire is a much more formidable foe. Not that Thrawn wasn't formidable in Rebels, it's just it was the people that we had this discussion before.
Yeah.
It was the people that were working for him that that were so incompetent, and that just, I mean, as much as I loved Thrawn in Rebels, I really wish they would have put him in something more like the Clone Wars, like having no, what I mean is I really wish that Rebels was more like the Clone Wars, slightly more mature, not exactly made for little kids, and then they could have maybe done more with them. I mean, not that Rebels was, I mean, Rebels pushed the boundaries for a kids show. I mean, there was scenes that really pushed it, and I really appreciate those things. It's not a bad show.
And the plot points were also very mature. They weren't messing around with this is just a cargo mission or a supply run, or no. They were really moving forward with the plot, and the plot was serious.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you gotta appreciate Rebels for that. You gotta appreciate Rebels, and they've made Thrawn canon, and that makes it even better. I love him. He's my favorite. I've also been I've got them actually right next to me right now. I haven't read them all yet, but another good set of books to read is the Star Wars Republic Commando series. I don't know if I've ever mentioned how much I love that series, but I love it, and I think that you should read it. There's I think there's only 5 books. And I legit have all 5 of them sitting right next to me right now. Let's see. It's there's 5 of them. So Star Wars Republic Commando Hard Contact is the first one, then 000, True Colors, Order 66, and then Imperial Commando 501st. Those are good ones too. So if you ever want, I got so many different things that I could start picking up and reading, but these in particular are my favorite ones out of all of them so far. And I've got a bunch I haven't read yet in there. I've been trying to collect a lot of old Legends stuff and get really into it, because before Disney bought it out, I didn't read a lot of books, Star Wars books, that is, and so all that stuff that was canon, I didn't get to appreciate it back then. Now I'm starting to appreciate it more. So, and I think I got which I couldn't stand the audiobook. Now that might just be me, but I was listening to what was it? Jedi Academy. I did not like the audiobooks too much. So I'm probably just going to read it instead of listen to it. But if anything else, it's a good story from what I've heard, and it picks up like right after, I think, what was it called? There's like this comic series that came after the Thrawn trilogy. It was, what was it called? Dark Empire, I think. It was something about where Palpatine came back. It sort of had a similar plot, I guess, in a way.
Oh, that must have been a one-page comic book, like someone saying somehow he came back. That's it. That's the end.
Yeah, it started off a little bit weird. There is an audio drama for it, though. There is an audio drama, and I think the actor for Billy D. Williams, I think the actor for Lando was actually voicing his character in that.
Oh, interesting.
I still didn't like it that much, and I know it was a controversial one back in the day, so it's not just me, but back in the day, that was a very controversial one for them. I did a lot of research on this stuff, and I found some stuff out, and I can see why. And I think that's where they got the Rise of Skywalker from as well, because some of the plot points felt very similar. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Anyways, since Commander Tano came in and gave her 2 cents, let's just go ahead, get right into it. I don't think Sarayway is going to show up, so no need to push the discussion back any further. So anyways, discussion time. We're going to talk about the 2 episodes because we didn't get to last stream we didn't get to stream last week. I cannot speak. I'm sorry. We didn't stream last week, so we got 2 episodes to discuss this time around. So, you know what? Go ahead, Chrono. Give me your thoughts on what you how you felt about that those 2 episodes.
Well, the first episode, as Commander Tano says, it was really nice to see more character development for both Omega and Echo. I mean, Omega, we already know she's having a hard time dealing with the fact that Echo left. And yeah, like Tech says, this is not forever. It's not like he died or went somewhere else and not coming back. And she knows that's the case, but it's never easy for someone to process the fact that someone you hold close is going to go away and you don't know when you're going to see that person again. And this is especially hard on kids, like when toddlers would cry unconsolably when you just go to the store for 5 minutes and then you come back and they smile and they hug you because they don't know that you're going to come back. They really feel like that's the end of that interaction. And even though Omega is older, she's still a kid, and she feels like the family just lost a member. So I really enjoy how they portray those emotions on her, the way she tries to deal with it. She feels like now things are not right because we're missing one of us. And I get it, because Echo, despite all he's been through, and the way he's not exactly like them because he's not part of the Clone Force 99. He was a regular clone that joined, and he's not exactly the same as them, but he was already part of the family, and she would miss him just as much as she would miss any of them. And I also like the comeback, because she goes too hard on Tech, and it's like at some point you want to slap her and tell her. And this was very good for me, because I was at that point, like, I wanted to take her out of the screen and slap some sense into her. And by the time I had gotten to that point, that is the moment when Tech talks back to her and tells her that it's not that I don't care. It's just that I process emotion differently than you do. And it was so great, because I thought they were not going to do that. I thought they were going to imply it. But no, he just comes out and says, like, this is not me not caring about my friends. It's just that we need to move forward, and I don't know how else to do it. And the way they look at each other by the end of that conversation, you can totally tell they climbed some steps and they bonded.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was a very, very nice episode. It was very well done, the character interactions. Also the way Hunter and Wrecker, even Wrecker, despite how empty-headed he is, he also knew that Tech was being an ass by not considering her feelings. And it's not really that he wanted to do it, so it's just that that's how he's built. And we see this every day with people we know. We would love for some people to be more expressive, to be easier to read than they are. especially when they are very close. Like when someone in your family, someone you have to interact with every day, and they are not open enough, and you never know how to talk to them. It gets very stressful because you do get to you start imagining in your head that yeah, maybe this person doesn't care about what I'm saying or what I'm feeling, and that's not the case. It's just that they are not the same as us.
Oh yeah. Well. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Sorry.
Mm.
But before you continue there, that's a nice selection of audio dramas and stuff that you've been looking at. Jedi is one I wanted to get into. I haven't gotten into it just yet. That and Crimson Empire. Sorry, all your messages just showed up all at once, so it's for some reason delayed in showing them to me. But yes, that's amazing. And a Rebel Mission to Ord Mantell, which was released in 1983 on vinyl and cassette. Ooh. Well, nice. I like that. I'm going to have to look into some of these. I haven't heard of a couple of these. Cloak of Deception, I think I have that. I think I have that one. I have quite a few, but I don't. I know I don't have a Jedi or the Truce.
Some of those are in comic format too, right? I seem to recognize some titles, but I think I saw them as comic books, not books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean there are a ton. I have like a lot of digital Star Wars comics that a friend compiled some time ago, and I think there are over 300 or something in just one of the folders. There are a lot of stuff that got published, and I don't really know how many are to date. I remember reading Golden Age of the Sith. I don't know if you ever checked that out.
I have not.
You totally should. It's about the time that they get to the planet that would eventually become their home, when they were just exiled.
Huh.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and you also get to see how things were done in the old Jedi Order before the one we actually know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Anyways, but yes, that's a very interesting selection of stuff that you got on the. Oh wait, I'll probably move on to the new Jedi Order books. Those feature the yes. I actually have been collecting a few of those. I haven't read them yet because I haven't read not everything, all the major stuff that I need before those showed up. I do have a few of those new Jedi Order books though, and I am super excited to get into them. Some of them, I think most of the ones I got are hardback, like some of the original ones. And I'm super excited. I think the first one, the first book, it has a CD with it. I think for something. I'm trying to remember what it was. Actually, I have. Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to grab it and I'll read what it says. Ugh. I have it somewhere. Where the heck did it go? I don't know where it went. I'll probably find it when I'm not looking for it. I'll legit find it when I'm not looking for it. I know it. That's what happened to me the last stream. I was looking for something. I don't know if you can hear. I'm away
for the headset. You were looking for the headset.
Yes. I can't find it right now. Oh, Commander Tom's back. I can't find it right now, but I will look for it, and I will. It's like some sort of bonus CD-ROM or something like that that came with. It's really cool though. I haven't gotten the chance to see what's on it, but I'm afraid to like take it out because like it's one of the original copies, not original copies. It's one of the older ones that came with those. So it's a big hardback. It's really nice. I got like 3 or 4 of those books out of however many there are. I got them in order. I didn't want to buy them out of order, and they're all hardbacks. So.
Yeah, you don't take that out. It's not worth it.
Yeah, no. Plus, most computers like my own right now don't have a CD drive, so I really can't use it anyways. So let's see. All right. By the way, hi, Commander Tano.
Hello.
Yes, you've returned. You've returned to us.
Wonderful. If I break into Australian, it's because I'm driving on I-95 and it's full of idiots. So, but yeah, I'm back.
I can honestly relate to that part. Anyways, we'll get back to what you were saying, Chrono. We may have forgotten where we were, but we'll get back to discussing the Bad Batch here.
Yeah, well, I was finishing my thoughts on episode 1 of these past 2, and
oh yes,
yeah, like the episode was very good. The bonding between Tech and Omega was really well done, and they followed up a bit with Sid owning a mine. Then she sends them to this place, and they get the ship stolen. And it was a fine excuse to have them stuck in the mine for a while, dealing with this stuff. But then, I had to completely agree with Commander Tano on the second episode because, I mean, they made it 2-part episode, and this second story with this kid, I mean, the story is not bad itself, but it goes nowhere. And since that story doesn't do anything for the characters we are actually invested in, it's like, why should I care about these people mining on this planet? It's like, yeah, I get it. It's a story within the Star Wars universe, but this is not why I'm here. I'm here for the Bad Batch. And to have them stranded because of the ship and trying to get it back and escaping, we have done that in the past season and on this season too. We don't need any more of that. We need the plot to move forward, and we're running out of episodes. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. There has been a bit of an issue with filler. I do like some of it, but some of it just don't feel like it goes anywhere. I mean, there wasn't really much character development that I could tell. It's more, I mean, it felt like it was more world building, which is okay, but I feel like we've had maybe a little too much focus on the world building and not enough on telling the story. Like, I really wanted to see what they were going to do with Commander Cody, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. World building is okay, and if you want to give me a whole season of world building, that's fine. But don't do it with some random miners on a forsaken planet that we never heard before. Do it with the Empire. Do it with people we know, with stuff that's relevant to the main universe. I mean, the stuff with Cody and Crosshair, it has very little to do with the Bad Batch, but it has a lot to do with the Empire. So it makes sense that you would show us that, and we want more of that. But other than that, they keep on going with these missions that show a little bit of something here, a little bit of something there. But in the end, you move forward with the plot. We don't know if they are being searched for. We are still wondering about that other clone, the one that the assassin clone. We're wondering about what happened in the Senate with Palpatine's speech. We have a lot of questions from season 1 and season 2, and instead of getting at least partial answers to them, we get sidetracked to some other stuff that no one cares. Because even if it's not bad, the episode wasn't bad, but people really don't care about that. We're here for the Bad Batch, and this episode does nothing for the Bad Batch.
Well, Dr. Mad Studios here says there's about 6 episodes left in season 2. And
Yeah.
good, I'm glad you're up to speed. There's some people in this stream that doesn't seem to stay up to speed sometimes. I'm going to keep calling you out for it.
Never.
Even if you've watched these last two, I'm still going to call you out for that one time.
Well. To be fair, she actually turned it around in a very cool way. She made it like the ultimate Mary Sue spin, because she presented her opinion as the reason why she didn't watch them.
True. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's she has good points though, so I can't fault her for it. You guys don't get the new shows until 8 p.m. on 8 p.m. or a.m. It says 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. I'm assuming 8 p.m. I'm going to assume that.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, because ours is like 3 a.m. down here in America.
Yeah, same here in Mexico. We also get them 3 a.m.
That's, in a way, I mean, I would be okay with that coming out at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, because I have to work on Wednesdays till 7 and 8 a.m. Okay, never mind then. Well, no, actually, that would almost be okay too, because I go to work at 10. I do 10 to 7, so I can watch it before I go to work.
Yeah, by this person's account, he's saying that they get it 5 hours later than we do.
Ah, okay.
It's not a big difference. It's within the same day.
That is true. See, the thing is, I can't stay up till 3 o'clock every night or every Tuesday or Wednesday morning. I can't stay up till 3 a.m. on a Wednesday, and I can't sleep. I'm sorry.
You don't want to stay up till 3 a.m.?
I can't. I physically can't stay awake past 1 o'clock anymore. I've tried.
Really?
These last couple of nights, which my job has had me exhausted. It's been crazy, but I'm not going on another rant session. That will take a while. But I've been very worn out, and I cannot stay up past 1 o'clock. I've tried, and it's I think even last night I actually didn't make it to 1 o'clock.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I know I can probably still watch it before I go to work, but I also don't have the willpower to wake up early enough.
Well, anyway, the show is not like something that you must watch the moment it goes out. It doesn't have that, like it doesn't get spoiled immediately seconds after, so you don't have to start dodging social media to avoid spoilers, because not that much people care about it, and it's not easy to spoil because the show itself is not intriguing or anything. So yeah, you can wait and watch it whenever you have the time.
Well, what bugs me is, and it's not like I'm mad at the show or anything. I still love the show so far, but this season has felt more filler and hasn't given us much story. And I've been very worn out with all the filler. I really want to know what's going to happen, and it's really annoying because the good story-filled episodes, like the Clone Conspiracy and Truth and Consequences, those 2 episodes were so good. We got those 2. Then, after having, I think, 3 episodes worth of filler, okay?
Yeah.
And then we got, now how many episodes of filler have we had so far? Not counting
most
these
of
2.
them.
Actually,
most of them. It's easier if you count the ones that are in filler, because they have done very little advancing the plot.
Well, see, the first episode wasn't technically a filler episode.
No.
The second episode, was that the one with Cody, or was that the third episode?
I think it was. I think it was the third episode. I think
What's the third one? Yeah.
2-parter. Yeah.
Okay, then what was the second episode? I'm trying to remember.
It was part 2 of a 2-parter. So
Oh, that's right. That's right. So the first 2 episodes were part 1 and 2. Then the 3rd episode was the one with Cody, and then we had 3 more episodes. We had 3 episodes of filler. Got 2 story-filled episodes, but none of the episodes besides the 3rd episode have focused on Crosshair, which is also really weird.
I almost forgot about him. Like,
Yeah, he's been in one episode. In one episode.
Yeah, and
that's so
I'm
weird.
a little worried. Like, what are they going to do? You know?
I kind of now demand every single episode hereafter involve Crosshair somehow, because we're running out of time to kind of develop that plot line much further. Are they just going to leave him on an island again? It sounds like that's what they're going to do. Like,
I mean, you never know. See.
I predict the Bad Batch is going to go on for years and years and years and years. At the end of every season, they're going to leave Crosshair on an island.
I like that.
And that's just it will never end. It'll be the longest running Star Wars animated series, and they will just end each season with that.
I trust that you anti-predicting such things to happen, because if it isn't, we're screwed.
It's basically going to be like Gilligan's Island, where they never get off the island except for this Crosshair.
I like that. That's funny. Well, Dr. Mad Studio here says that I get the feeling Dave Filoni hasn't been heavily involved with the Bad Batch Season 2. Actually, let me put this on the screen here. Probably because of the other projects he's working on. You might be right. But I still feel like that whoever's currently working with it should at least know how much filler to put in a season. You know, I mean, it just feels like there's not enough story. He says he can't be sure about that, but that's what he thinks. And, you know, you might be right. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, I guess.
And the thing is, it's like the episodes that you do get that either just contribute to the plot, or that, like, once again, that tech episode, you know, that just contribute to just character development, they're really good. It's like, when it's good, it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I think at least for me, and probably for a lot of other people, it's also kind of the filler fatigue comes from, like, you know, like when Star Wars Rebels was out, like, that was a big thing that people would complain about, because it was like there were, like, you know, you kind of go in between some episodes that would forward the plot, or some really good stuff that people wanted, but you have to wait through like 3 or 4 episodes of filler in between before you could, you know, and that may be part of the issue, is, you know, because it's weird, because someone could argue like, oh, the Clone Wars was like that, it had, you know, filler, you know, that but that was kind of a weird thing, because the Clone Wars didn't really have one main plot, and so that kind of just, and that probably helped it, because you could just, if you have a show that's following the same group of ensemble of characters all the way through, it's like you're going to get filler with that, because you can't necessarily, it's not realistic to have them do, you know, plot developing things all the time. So I get that. And so that's probably the advantage the Clone Wars had, because they didn't need to kind of wear out, you know, a main group of characters. They could go and switch between, you know, okay, this set of 3 will be Ahsoka, this set of 3 will be Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, and this set of, you know, 4 will involve, you know, the 501st, you know, and so you could do that, and you could have like very kind of like, you know, kind of plot forwarding, character developing, you know, like satisfying episodes, but also without having to rely so heavily on any one character to do it. Whereas I think if you stick with one single family or group of characters, it seems that kind of thing just kind of tends towards filler when people write those things. I don't know why.
Yeah, and you're right. It does work better for the Clone Wars that it didn't have a main plot like that, because it really, I mean, it had like it did tie in a few things, but it was mainly telling multiple stories that happened during the Clone Wars. And, I think they are sort of trying to do that with the Bad Batch, but where they had introduced a main story plot, it sort of just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because they
Mhm.
have to tie it to that core family of characters, and so it makes you have to do kind of stretch things. You have to have them like lose, kind of constantly go on treasure hunts or lose their ship or have something happen that don't necessarily seem natural all the time for them to constantly have happening. Yeah,
Well,
that makes sense.
another thing is that they always fail their treasure hunts or their missions for Sid. And the one time that they actually succeeded, which was the episode before last, they have to also get their ship back, and Sid won't help them do anything about it. Which actually, I had a theory that got shot down with the next episode, but because I had watched an episode of Star Wars Theory, and it got me thinking. And this is still a relevant thing to talk about too. But I'll wait for my turn to talk about it. But I have a theory, and we'll discuss it when it gets to my turn. Before I let y'all continue, my ideal episode of the Bad Batch is where the Squad and Omega, I keep forgetting to put this on screen, run into Prince. I can't even say his name today. I can't speak. I'm sorry. From Shadows of the Empire, he is canon, but only by name so far. Oh yeah. If I could say it,
that should happen.
His name,
I absolutely agree. That should happen.
Caesar.
I
think. Yeah. I'm having a hard time today, guys. I've been having a hard time just these last 3 days, and it's carried on to today, my day off. Actually, yeah, that would be a really cool. That would be a really cool plot. Not plot. See, I told you I'm having a hard time. That'd be a very cool story to cover. If this happened, it's a good idea. It's a really good idea. But anyways, let me I'm a terrible host today. I might just shut up. Okay, anyways. So back to what you were saying, Chrono, about, I can't remember where you were at last, but maybe.
Well, I was just stating that what you just said, that the episode was like, even though it was part 2, it was filler. I know most of us did not care much for this story about these miners, and other than showing us what was happening in this planet, it didn't do anything for the show, for the plot. We just know that they got their ship back, they went back to their base with Sid, and that's it. They could have easily missed the. I mean, if you were to rewrite the whole thing, you could have easily closed the bonding arc in the last episode and have this kid not show up and steal the ship, and then you move on and make this episode about something more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the second episode of this two-parter was solely to get the ship back. And I'm like, yeah, why do we need to see them do that? They have done this before. This is not something new. So I'm not against episodes like this showing us stuff that happens in the galaxy, but you have a very limited number of episodes. So this is not the Clone Wars. It's not 8-10 seasons long. You don't have that luxury, and I'm starting to wonder if the people behind this actually have a plan to go somewhere with the story they have been trying to set up, because they have been failing to advance that story since season 1. It took very long, and season one was better because even though it didn't advance much, they gave us a lot of world building around the Empire. So that's why we don't care. It's like, okay, we don't get to see much of what's going on with the Bad Batch. It's as a team, but we get a lot of Empire building, world building. So yeah, we're cool with that. But in this season, we're not getting either, and that's a problem. So then what's the goal of the show? Because if the goal was to just create a show for episodic adventures, then you should not try to interest people by throwing these hooks here and there, like, oh yeah, we're gonna see about the Empire, we're gonna see about Cody, we're gonna see about Crosshair, and in the end you don't. So yeah, it's I just wonder what's the goal? What was really the purpose of this show?
Yeah, if like you said, if they wanted to do like an episodic adventure thing, they shouldn't have like introduced a story plot like this. You know, they've already given us an idea of what they were going to do with it, but then they haven't advanced on that story plot since since the third episode. They really haven't done that much in advancing the plot. The only true story episodes that we've gotten were the third episode and then the 2 episodes before these last 2.
Yeah.
So we've only gotten 3 really good story episodes. The rest, even though the first 2 episodes weren't exactly filler, and I did enjoy those 2 episodes. I did. I'm not saying they're bad, but they still didn't feel like they advanced the plot. It's just this is where they are now episode.
Yeah.
This is where they are now. And then the last episode, it may have been a part 2 to the episode before it, and I loved the episode before this one. But this one, it didn't do the character building like the episode where Tech races. They did a lot of character building with Sid's character, which that's another thing. That's part of my theory later. I'll talk about that later. I'll come back around to that. So, but they did some character development with her. They did some character development with Tech, and that was one of my favorite. Oh, wait. Oh, a man after my own heart, or woman behind. I don't know what you are. I don't want to call you whatever you're not, but I'm still hoping for a clone uprising in the finale, regardless how big it is. Yes! This is what I want! Yes! You got me. This is how I feel too. And I've been saying it ever since season 1, that there's going to be a clone rebellion one way or another. At first I was saying it was going to be on Kamino, because, I felt like something would happen on Kamino. The way they were treating the Kaminoans, they would have rebelled at the end of the season. And then Kamino would have gotten destroyed. That didn't happen. I was disappointed. But after watching the last 2 episodes... Oh, you're a guy, by the way. Okay, nice. So, a man after my own heart. I'm very happy. But after
that was incredibly sexist of you. I mean, he says he's a guy and you say nice. So if he had said, "Oh, I'm a woman," then what would you have said?
I would have also said nice. Okay, don't do this to me. You're my minority. You gotta back me up.
I don't know. You have never said nice to Commander Tano.
Yeah.
Have I not?
I'm not sure if you have. I'm kind of feeling. I feel kind of cheated. Like.
Oh. Oh gosh, no! I'm going to be in so much trouble. I'm going to get canceled after this.
No, but like I may need just niceness reparations or something. Just you need to say that I'm nice, or say that the stuff I say is nice, a lot to make up.
Nice.
Even if I say stuff that just sucks, you need to say it's nice.
Okay. Okay, so that's nice then. That's nice. That's great.
Yes.
That's wonderful. You're welcome. I'll make sure to say nice every 2 seconds when you're speaking. Regardless if you're finished saying something or not.
Well, I've got to actually hop off a bit and unload my car. But
Nice.
Ethan said, yes,
Nice.
thank you.
There, are you happy now?
Yes, thank you. I needed that affirmation. I was kind of like,
You were left out? You felt left out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need that affirmation to thrive as a person, and now I have it. Thank you.
Okay, good. Yes, you're welcome. Everything in life is nice, Dr. Mad Studio says. Yes,
Yep.
Everything in life is nice. Everything in life is nice. I do agree. Anyways, you do what you need to do, Commander Tano. We'll see you probably in a little bit if you decide to come back.
Got
Maybe.
it. I probably won't
Alright.
make it back in that, but this was fun, and I got my 2 cents in. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm really, really worried. Of course, I'd enjoy seeing a clone rebellion, but I am worried that at this rate, we're just going to get Crosshairs Island. This is the Gilligan's Island of Star Wars. I've just decided that Bad Batch is the Gilligan's Island of Star Wars, because it's in so many ways. Not just that you have Crosshair left on the island, but it's like the characters keep kind of doing the treasure hunt, fail the treasure hunt. They get their ship, they lose their ship. There's kind of a lot of these cyclical defeats, and it kind of feels that way. But yeah, I hope we get a clone rebellion, but I think it's just Crosshairs Island.
Dang. I'm hoping you're wrong. I really hope you're wrong.
Well, that's why I'm predicting it, so that way it won't happen.
Yeah, I have the prediction powers. You have the anti-prediction powers.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Anyways, well, take care.
Yep, same to you. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
All right. Anyways, a man after my own heart. I love the idea of a clone rebellion. I'm still going on about that. But see, the thing is, I'm trying to continue from where I was. So, because of the last couple episodes, I think it was Clone Conspiracy, or isn't that what it was called? Clone Conspiracy or whatever? That and Truth and Consequences. That has really shown me a couple things. I feel like, especially after seeing those clones who didn't want to stop fighting for the Empire, like they're just simple. They want to fight, but the Empire is forcing them out. I feel like something is boiling, and at a point it's going to overflow, and it's going to get everywhere. How a pot of water and you leave it boiling for a while, and then it just overflows, and that terrible metaphor. But maybe if we do everything the opposite, it will happen. Well, see, that's Commander Tano's philosophy. She's the anti-predictor. So she's going to say what she thinks will happen, and it won't happen because of that. See, that's the opposite with me, though. If I come up with something and I say it, now there's a whole story behind this, because we've been streaming for almost 2 years now, by the way. We've been doing stuff for almost 2 years now. In March, it will be our second year. I think March 25th is the day. So we're almost there. But early on, I discussed something. I can't remember what episode of Star Wars Topics it was, but I discussed how I have this ability to predict things. Now, it could just be that I have like the Force as my god, but or I could just be lucky, or both. You never know. But anyways, the reason for that is I brought up a few examples of how I was, able to predict certain things. Like, I predicted Star Wars Rebels while I was sitting in a Wendy's, which not everybody may know what that is. It's a restaurant. For anybody that's watching that doesn't know, that's a restaurant down here called Wendy's, and I'm sure everybody knows. It's a big thing. But I was sitting in a Wendy's, and I was talking to one of my sisters, and I said, I wonder what they'll call the next show. And I was thinking it was going to take place. Now, I didn't predict it 100%. I predicted the title of the show. But I was like, I wonder what the next show will be. And I was thinking it's going to take place in between episodes 4 and 6, showing the war between the rebels and the Empire. So I thought, well, it's not going to be called Galactic Civil War, because that's just too long, and it didn't have as much of a catchy ring. So I'm like, Star Wars Rebels maybe. And this was right after Disney had bought. I think it was right after. No, it was right before Disney bought Star Wars. So I was, I just come up with Star Wars Rebels just off the top of my head, which I guess in a way anybody probably could have done it, but I know that I did it before Disney bought it, so I sort of call myself a prediction master at this point. But that's just one of the many examples of my prediction powers, and I'm not going into detail over all the rest of them, but that's one of them right there. And it did end up happening, though it took place in between episodes 3 and 4. So it didn't turn out to be exactly like the Clone Wars like I was thinking, but I did get the name right. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. I get distracted really easily. But yes, the Clone Uprising, I think everything's coming to a boiling point, is soon going to, explode, and everything's going to go crazy. Though I honestly think it will be a bigger Clone Rebellion, not really a small one. I think it'll be a bigger one, because the way they've been doing things lately, like we've still have we've seen Gregor. This all connects, I promise. It seems like I'm going off topic, but I'm not. We've seen Gregor. We've got Rex. Where's Commander Wolf? I'm sure we'll see him soon. Actually, I doubt it'll be in this season. It'll probably be in the 3rd season, if there is a 3rd season, which I'm sure they will do, because they don't seem to be going anywhere in this season story-wise. But we haven't seen Commander Wolf, and we don't know what's going on with him. And I'm sure that they're going to bring him in and explain how he took out his inhibitor chip. And, there's all this stuff going on behind the scenes with Rex that we haven't really seen before. But due to the the Truth and Consequences episode, there's this other clone who, Gregor. Yeah, we haven't seen much on Gregor either, but now we know that he's out of the Empire. So we got Gregor, we got Rex. Now we just need Wolf. Now we don't have much on Gregor yet either, so we might end up seeing more of him. Hopefully, we get to see more of him. Maybe we'll get to see how he loses his inhibitor chip, or maybe they're just going to imply that he had already lost it. I'm not 100% sure. They don't seem to do a great job at explaining how some people get their inhibitor chips removed. Crosshair. Anyway. But hopefully we actually get an explanation for that one too. I really do want to know what he meant by having his removed and why he's, doing what he's doing. But, where was I? Oh yeah, Wolf. So I think that there's something going on behind the scenes. And the reason why I mention all those characters is because Rex seems to be at the head of this movement at the moment. And Rex may be working with somebody else. I mean, besides I think it's the Mortez sisters. Is it Mortez? I can't remember the last. Mortez. Yes, you're right. So he's working with them, and they're probably working with Ahsoka, because they had Ahsoka's droid in season 1. So maybe they're working on trying to get clones out of the Empire. I mean, whatever the clone's name was again, I can't remember what his name was. Was it Slint? No, it was what was his name? Whoever the survivor was in the Clone Conspiracy episode that didn't get shot right off the bat. I'm trying to remember what his name was. Slip? Was his name Slip? I think it was.
Oh,
Slip.
yeah, Slip.
Yeah. I think he was the one that survived. He said that, didn't we get like part of like a communication with somebody where he's like, I heard you can get me out of here. So, yeah, there's something going on. like Rex is making himself sort of known to getting people out of the Empire, I guess, clones specifically. And which is sort of weird in a way because it doesn't seem like anybody's reported it. Maybe it's just clones looking out for each other. I don't know. There's probably going to be more information later, but I feel like there is something building, and the fact that Rex is getting clones out of the Empire, and after this development with the Truth and Consequences episode where Palpatine shows up and does his thing, saying that we do need to get a conscripted military force in here instead of a clone military. Turning all the good things that was happening around and turning it into something bad for at least the clones. It's like things are coming to a boiling point, and it's going to boil, and there's going to be problems. It's going to happen, and I'm doing the worst job at explaining it, but all I'm trying to say is it's happening. I know it's going to happen. I'm predicting it to happen. I just don't know where, when, or how it's going to happen. But we're getting slight hints as to who's helping it happen. Like who's making this whole thing possible. And it's also going to be partly the Empire's fault, because if they're casting the clones out, the clones only want to fight. That's sort of what they were bred for, and I guess they embrace that fact that they are soldiers and that's it. They haven't been taught anything else, so all they've ever known is fighting. I can understand that they probably don't want to leave the army. They just want to, they just want to fight until they die. But where they're being forced out, and it looks like things aren't going to go as planned for them, there might be some clone rebellion going to happen. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, you can continue on now, Chrono. I've said my thing. I've said my piece.
Yeah, no, I think Commander Tano is probably right. I mean, I really wish she wasn't, but I honestly don't see them going anywhere. And I think the Crosshair thing is either going to be explained at some point. I don't think in this season, or they will probably just abandon that point. I mean, they tried to sell this thing that, oh yeah, Omega is super important, and it's like, yeah, but why? And they never told us. And the big secret was that she was like a different kind of clone. And then the Empire kind of never cared enough to go after them to get her back. And even the Kaminoans did nothing to get her back. And Crosshair's story was that they wanted, in season 1, they wanted to get him back because they thought like, oh, we couldn't save him. We need to go back for him, and we need to get his chip out and stuff. And they never did. And not only that, but he eventually decided like, yeah, no, I don't want to go with you. I want to keep working for the Empire. And they just did that like, okay, are we the audience supposed to just accept the fact that you abandon your plot points halfway and focus on the good action and some other stuff? Because if that's the way they treat the show, then they will keep doing this to them over and over, and nothing will connect with anything. It's just episodic adventures. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's not that it's a bad show, but at least from my very personal experience, I didn't sign up for that. I'm here watching this because I want to expand my experience about the Star Wars universe. It's not that I want to watch whatever Star Wars. It has to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we joke a lot about the Clone Rebellion thing, and I do hope you get your wish, but I honestly think they don't have it inside. I mean, maybe they toy with the idea or something, but I don't think that's where they're going. And it's sad because that would be great. I mean, a lot of us would actually enjoy something like that. It would very much feel like the old days with the Clone Wars. And but I don't see that happening right now because 6 episodes to go and the plot doesn't move an inch. I don't know. I'm not disappointed on the show because the show isn't bad, but I'm disappointed about the outcome because it's going nowhere. That's my only issue with it. You can give me a lot of wholesome episodes like the ones where they bond, and I will like them. But what else is there? I mean, at this point, I'm starting to think, okay, what's Ahsoka going to be about? Is it going to go somewhere? Because even Mando, we are currently excited for Mando, but they already messed up with these episodes in the Book of Boba Fett. Because what they did with those episodes ruined the ending for season 2. And
yeah.
So then what was the angle? I mean, okay, you did something for that ending, and you created expectations on the audience, and now those expectations died the moment those 2 episodes came out in the Book of Boba Fett, and now we don't know what to expect in the next chapter, because one of the main things we thought we knew how it was going to go, it changed, and a lot of people didn't like. I mean, we can separate the debate whether it was the right choice or not. Even if you think it was the right choice, it's not what they built up to. So now you're going to watch something very different from what you were probably expecting. So then they killed the previous hype to replace it with a different one. And now we don't know if this is... How much is Mando 3 going to be about him and Grogu? And how much is going to be about the Darksaber and Bo-Katan? Which story are you going to tell? Because if you're going to try to tell me both stories at the same time, in a very narrow window of, I don't know, probably 8 to 12 episodes, that might be difficult. I mean,
Yep.
season one and 2 were easier to make because episodes were kind of episodic adventures that were somehow connected. You would see the episode about Cobb Bane, you would see the episode about Boba Fett taking back the ship, and these things don't cross over, but they belong to the same period and the same story. In this season, in this new season, you already have all the elements introduced, all the characters. So now you cannot do that again. You have to actually tell the story. We already know who everyone is. We know where they are. We know what they're going for. So we expect to see the outcome. So I don't know what kind of show we're going to get, and that's the problem. We might get a good one. I'm not saying it has to be bad, but it's hard to tell because Bad Batch is giving me a vibe that kind of tells me they don't have a plan, and that is a very bad thing when you're running a show that connects to a lot of stuff.
I like this comment right here because this ties into exactly what my theory is about. So, and I'm just going to read this off because, I like this comment. The Bad Batch is at its best when it involves the Empire rather than doing all these jobs for Sid. Hopefully they'll part ways with her when she betrays them. Is there if I go ahead and start talking about my theory real quick?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't have anything specific to say about this.
Oh, okay, awesome. So, or nice. Sorry, I better say nice. I don't want you to feel left out either. Nice. Did you hear that one? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways. So, I completely agree with that statement. I completely agree with that, Dr. Mad Studio. So, all the best episodes that we've gotten in this season that weren't filler all dealt with the Empire in one way or another. And, you know, every single time we see Sid or have an episode involving something related to Sid, they end up usually failing their mission. And we've talked about this already. But how many times have we seen them actually succeed on a mission that they were for Sid? Like, most of them, such as the episode with the tactical droid, which was a good episode. I did like the episode. But episodes like that, episodes like, what was it? Well, let's talk about the previous episode where they technically sort of succeeded, but they didn't because their ship got stolen. And, you know, where did that, what was that stuff called that they were mining? I forgot what it was called.
Ipsium,
yes. So, where did that stuff go? Like, they didn't talk about it at all in the, about like where they put it or whatever. So I'm hoping they still have it, but this is the only mission so far that they've actually semi-succeeded in, but something still went wrong. Every one of their missions, something goes terribly wrong. And another really good example for that, though, is the episode with the Wookiee. And I mean, they were getting ready to get paid. They were getting ready to get paid for their mission. They almost completed their mission for Sid. They ended up killing the people that were paying them before they got paid. At least wait until you get paid, then kill them. I mean, come on. I can almost, you know what? I can almost sympathize with Sid for a second here, because every time she sends them on a mission, they end up failing. So, I mean, she's going to end up betraying them eventually because of the debt that they owe her. Okay, that's not actually my theory. That's more of a joke. But I am legit, like, serious about her betraying them. Actually, what I mentioned earlier with the episode before last, where their ship got stolen, I watched some videos on YouTube and it got me thinking about it. Some people were saying that Sid had them set up and had their ship stolen. Now, there wasn't really a lot of stuff that they can go into to, you know, prove the theory, but it was just a theory. And the second episode sort of shot that down when they turned it into an episode about trying to help these miners, you know, which, I mean, it's a good episode by itself. It was a good episode, and I did enjoy it, but it really didn't do much for the world of the Bad Batch. But anyways, so my theory was that Sid will eventually betray them, and this is how they're going to end up becoming part of this clone rebellion type of thing. You know, they're actually going to start fighting the Empire, because they're going to realize at this point that the Empire is everywhere and there's not going to be anywhere safe to hide. So they have to make a safe place to hide by fighting the Empire. The reason I'm mentioning the Empire, though, is because Sid will be probably either bought out by the Empire, basically. You know, she's going to sell them out to them. They already mentioned that she, you know, isn't exactly a trustworthy character anymore, especially after that episode with the racing. I keep forgetting the episode's name, but that racing episode that I love so much, because I love that episode. It's a good one. They did build Sid's character. They gave us a reason to, you know, sort of distrust her. Oh, Lil Oak, hey buddy. Ain't seen you in a while, which I ain't streamed as frequently as I used to, but it's nice to see you again, buddy. Nice to see you. Also, Dr. Mad Studio says, I doubt this will happen, but it would be great. It would be a great twist if Sid betrays the Bad Batch because of the debt she owes to Prince Caesar, allowing him to enter the picture. Yes, that's actually another good way to do it. That's actually another good way to do it. I do like that idea. You know what? You should go, since you're able to visit film locations, you should maybe visit the story group and, you know, give them a few good ideas, because, you know, that would sort of help out.
Or plant a thermal detonator.
What now?
Or plant a thermal detonator.
Oh yes, or you can do that
Works
too. Yep, that works too. But yes, if Sid does end up betraying him, it's going to be due to some sort of debt, or maybe that to save her own skin, she sells him off to the Empire. It can go in many different directions, you know. That would. hold on. That would be very nice.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I forgot to say nice. I forgot to say it, but I remember. I'll remember it next time. I promise. But if not, remind me anyway. So, I would really like this to happen. And honestly, Sid isn't my favorite character anyway. She's okay. And honestly, I do enjoy a lot of scenes with her, but it's getting to the point where it feels like if they wanted to make a show about people that go around doing mercenary work, they should have made that the main point of the show.
Yeah.
Because it's I understand that they are just trying to make a living, and you know, you can do it in a different way. You can imply that they've done a lot of jobs for Sid, and that's how they're able to, you know, keep up with their living expenses and all that stuff. You know, you don't have to show every single botched job that they've had and then leave us wondering how they are making money to survive out there. Because from my point of view, all I'm seeing is failed missions, and I don't see how they're paying for anything. So I'm assuming that they're implying that every other mission that we don't see is a successful mission, and that's how they're paying for the fuel for the ship, for the food that they eat, all that stuff. And then again, maybe every mission that we've seen them go on is like all failed missions, and this is why Sid betrays them. Who knows? I mean, it's not exactly I guess an impossibility, but I think that they're just trying to imply that they have went on a lot of missions for her, and they just haven't, you know, succeeded in every single one of them. It does surprise me that there hasn't been a Bad Batch comic book series. They've done that with everything else. You know what? Yeah, you're probably right. It is a little weird that they haven't done that yet. And I mean, I guess in a way, I'm sort of glad they haven't, because, and I'm not trying to throw shade or anything like that, but they did change the way, and I like the way they did it in the Bad Batch. I also like the way they did it in the comic too, but they did change Kanan's, like, you know, Order 66 scene. They changed how he, you know, they changed it. So even if they do make a comic for it, I would prefer that they do that after the series is out, because then, you know, the comic may not feel like, oh, it can change at any second. Then again, you know, the comic had nothing to do with the Bad Batch, I don't think, in the first place, and they ended up showing it and putting the Bad Batch in it, you know. So, I mean, anything can change, I guess, in the future. But I am also surprised about the Bad Batch, though, like, because Dave Filoni, he had said that he really liked these characters when he was talking about them, which is why they brought that arc about the Bad Batch into season 7. I watched the original animatic that they had released of all 4 episodes back when there was no hope for a season 7, you know. Which was very interesting. It was very interesting to watch it, and honestly, it was better than anything that we had seen from current Star Wars at the time, because their shows like the unnamed one, what was it called? Star Wars Rebellion? No, it wasn't Rebellion. Star Wars Resist? No, it wasn't Resist. That might be closer. Star Wars Resistance. I think that was the name of it. We don't talk about that show though, so it's hard to remember it. By the way, for anybody that doesn't know, that's a running joke here. I know what the name of the show is. I just hate the show. But that show was awful. I couldn't even finish like a single episode from that show. Now that's just me, and I'm not trying to say I'm picky or I down everything Star Wars, because I love I love Star Wars so much. Um,
Funny enough, Resistance actually managed to keep up with its own arcs and delivered. I mean, even if it wasn't good, they did move their plot forward. That's something we're
that
not
is
getting.
true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But Rebels was okay, but I was still a little annoyed that they went the really child-friendly route, because this was during, I think, the first 2 seasons when they didn't like go too hard on the, you know, I mean, they were trying to stay within a kid rating for sure. Season 2 at the end, well, season 2 in general was a step in the right direction, and it did push the boundaries a bit, especially with the last episodes. So I started gaining a lot more respect for Rebels after season 2. Season 1, as much as I say I like Rebels because I love Rebels, don't get me wrong when I say anything about it. I love it. I just acknowledge its weak points. But season 1 was very hard for me to watch. And I think it was during season 1 that these animatics came out for the Bad Batch, and I was like, this is way better than anything we've gotten so far. Before I go on, I'm still bummed we'll never get the Clone Wars episode involving the Yuuzhan Vong. Yes. Why do they always cut out the stuff that can be really good? Why do they always do that? No, they didn't. You know, there was also other animatics too that were for Utapau, like the mission on Utapau, which I watched that too. That's something we never got either. And we don't speak about Resistance like an old messed up doll that's been locked away in the attic for years, lol. See, he agrees. I'm nice. That was a nice comment. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm trying to remember. But anyways, it was stuff like that was really good back in that time that you know, we weren't getting, and I really enjoyed those animatics. I really want to see the episode where Bane faces off against Boba, because I saw the animatic for that too. If they would just do, you know, they can even do a Star Wars short on that, you know, like how they did Tales of the Jedi. Maybe they should just make another series about shorts for Star Wars. Everything has its nice points, lol. I think that's gonna have to be a thing that I do now, is like give out nice points. Nice points.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna have to do now. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I what I really want is I really want, because they already had those episodes partly finished, including the voice acting and stuff like that. Why not fully animate them? You know, what would be the harm in doing that? That would only benefit Disney, because those were good. You know, they should make a season 8 to the Clone Wars showing the episodes that we never got in season 7, or at least add the episodes into season 7. But I doubt they'll do that. And honestly, I really doubt they'll do something like that. But that, you know, what they could do is like turn those episodes that they hadn't finished, maybe turn them into shorts, maybe shorten them, give us scenes from them, something like that. Just give us shorts like Tales of the Jedi if they don't want to do full-on episodes. It would be really cool. At least they concluded Asajj Ventress' arc with the book Dark Disciple. I have that book. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, you should. That is a great book.
Dang, I'm going to read it.
That book is very important because it will give you if you like the character of Asajj Ventress and you never saw any more about her, and you were like, and you felt like you needed more of her, and also more of Master Boss, because Quinlan Vos is a Jedi that they shown a couple of times in Clone Wars and the movies, but they didn't really give him any attention, and he's a very cool character. So
Oh, yeah.
the fact that the book gives you a very cool story for both of them, that's the real value in that book. You really get to see these two characters in a different light than the whole story they were a part of, because this is their own story.
That's nice. Nice point
Yeah.
awarded.
Yeah, just totally check it out.
Yep. But anyways, I'm getting really off topic from what I was actually going for. So back to the Sid thing, because you know I do want to conclude my discussion on these two episodes. But basically, everything you've said about the episodes is how I feel. I feel exactly the same as you do. The episodes feel more like world building, which, don't get me wrong, I love world building. I love some good world building. The episodes in the first season that told the story and did the world building all at once, like the one, what was the name of the episode? It was like the third episode in season 1 with Cutler Quang. That was showing what the Empire was beginning to do, but it was also telling the story of them trying to hide from the Empire. Like, it was doing both, you know? And plus it gave us a character from the Clone Wars back that was really good that we've never gotten to see again. So now we get to see where he's at. So we're getting this world building and storytelling all at the same time. In this previous episode, it just feels like it's a adventure. So it is building the world and giving us ideas of what is going on in other places, but it's not involving the Empire. And we're not seeing, you know, like, what's Echo doing? You know, what's he doing now?
Yeah.
And I mean, we're not getting anything like that, and it's sort of sad. I really do like the Bad Batch, and oh, by the way, thank you, Dr. Mad Studio, thank you. By the way, before I continue on, I don't know if anybody else is interested in like gameplay videos. I did post a few back about a year or so ago. I haven't done it in a while, but I do have one in the works right now. I'm editing the video. I'm not great with commentary or reading, apparently. So I'm editing it right now though, and I think it turned out pretty decent. You know, I think it did. So I got a video on the way pretty soon. So I don't do just streams, and now that I have this computer right here that I got now, my previous one, I already explained this before, but the previous one I had, it's like it sort of wouldn't edit videos well for me. It wouldn't let me record games on my computer too well, and even if it did record videos, it like recorded at 720 at 30 frames per second. Now I could do 1080 at 60, you know. So I really wanted to produce the best I could produce, and you know, my other computer died, so I couldn't do videos like that anymore. I can only live stream. So now that I have this new one, I'm actually trying to put videos out, though it might take me a bit to get the second episode out because of time constraints, but I am trying to start a series with Children of Silent Town. I don't know if you've played the game. I don't know if I know Chrono hasn't played it, but I don't know if anybody else around here has played it, but I liked the first chapter. I've completed the first chapter in that video I recorded. So be looking forward to that. That's something, you know, I want to do is start putting out more of those videos. Though it might take me a little bit to get them out because I don't have as much time as I used to. That, and I don't want to burn myself out and not finish the series. If I don't finish the series, I'll feel bad because I like to finish what I start. Insert Kylo Ren meme on the screen that I'm, you know,
really?
I would.
Finish what you start? Did you finish Resistance?
That we look. See, we don't talk about Resistance, okay? Dr. Mad Studio said it too. Look on your screen. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I do have a video planned, and I don't know if I said it already, but yes, thank you for subbing to the channel. I really appreciate that. We do stuff like this most of the time, every single week. It's not like I'm like, I do try to do it every single week. It doesn't always happen. I usually try to tweet out beforehand whether I'm streaming or not. You know, first rule of Fight Club: we don't talk about Fight Club. Yep, you're right. But I do have a video coming out pretty soon. I'm just editing it. Well, I'm not editing it at this very moment. I'm streaming, of course. But I'm like partly done. It won't take a lot of editing, but I am going to try to do some edits to it. This one's it's different because it's like one of those point and click games. I can do some pretty funny edits with it, yes, but on a lot of other videos that I've done before, I had to do like a lot of editing for them, and you know I'm not super great at the editing yet, where I'm sort of new to it, but I was doing, I think, pretty decent with it at first, and I think I'm getting better now that I've got the hang of how it works. I'm still trying out new things with it, but I want to make sure I produce the best episode of Children of Silent Town that I can. So it might take me a bit to get it up, and it might take me a bit to get the next episode out. But I just want to make sure I produce the best one. So if anybody ever wants to watch that, you know, that's coming soon, I promise. It's not like the Knights of the Old Republic series that I tried to start before my computer busted and I couldn't, and I lost the second episode that I had recorded. I had to record that episode twice, by the way. So I legit had to play that part twice, and then now I'll have to play it a third time if I want to continue because it died on me. I was having a hard time with that one, but I did finish the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Well, not the whole series. I was going to do all the games, but I wasn't able to. I did finish the first game though, so I did finish something. Anyways, I told you I'm very easily distracted, but yes, Sid will betray the Bad Batch. They will, they will be forced to pick a side. Basically, do they want to fight or not pick a side? But they will be forced either to fight or to run. And honestly, I don't think they're going to choose to run. I think everything that Echo was talking about will finally sink in, because Echo has always been talking about we need to do more. And he's been saying that to Hunter this whole time. And, you know, Echo finally got fed up with it. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go with Rex. I'm going to go do something. So even Echo sees what they're doing as a fruitless adventure, you know? That's it. It's yes. A fruitless task. It's not going to amount to anything. Good thing I keep my mojo backed up on external hard drive. You know what? You're smarter than I am. I didn't do that. But I did. I was able to recover a few things. A lot of which I had a lot of them on my phone as well. I did back up a lot of stuff onto my phone because I have a lot of storage on my phone, and I was able to switch an SD card out and stuff like that. So I had a lot of stuff stored on an SD card that I'd put on my phone. I never got an external hard drive, which I need to do, by the way. Actually, that's a great idea. The weird thing is, I work at a place that sells a lot of external hard drives, and not once has that clicked into my head. What the heck? Why have I not thought about that before? I think I'm scatterbrained. But yeah, no, that's a great idea, and I'm going to have to do that. They're not that expensive either. So from this point on, anytime I record anything, mark my words, I'm going to do it. By the way, you're getting 2 nice points for that one. 2 nice points. So, with that aside, Sid's going to betray them to either the Empire or to Prince Caesar, which I would be very excited to see how that pans out. And, you know, the Bad Batch are going to realize, which I think it's going to be more, I want it to be Prince Caesar, but I have a feeling it's going to be the Empire. Because they already sort of hinted at the very beginning that that she won't be able to keep her business running for long because of the Empire. I still have a feeling it's going to be the Empire that she sells them out to. just to save her own skin. And, you know, even though the Bad Batch had went out of their way to help her, it's not going to matter. She's saving her own skin. I'm more curious where Echo and Rex are. Sid can just throw herself in the Sarlacc pit for all I care. You know what? I agree with that. Echo and Rex, like I was saying earlier, what are they doing? I'd like to know what they're doing. That would be wonderful. You know, if we actually got some story or some not just some story, but like some episodes focused solely on whatever they're doing. That would be nice. But then that would sort of turn the show into a Clone Wars style show. And for that to happen, they would have to sort of abandon the main plot that they had set up with the first season, which it already feels like they've sort of done that, but they haven't went out of their way to show that they've abandoned it, except for showing a lot of filler episodes, which I feel like is just a mistake. And you never know. With these last possible 6 episodes, I think is what Dr. Mad Studio said, is 6 episodes. They may focus mainly on the story. We might get some stuff with Commander Cody, Rex, and Chrono just left the stream. That's funny though, but he'll be back, I'd say. But yeah, Commander Cody, Captain Rex. But we might get some stuff on that. We might get some stuff with Crosshair, which I would like to finally see, because we only got a small glimpse of that with the 3rd episode, which is you know, sort of sad that we've only gotten that much. I feel like we should have gotten more, especially after the way the first season ended. But, you know, I guess it is what it is. But anyways, I just think that that's going to happen eventually. Now, I have no idea where I was going after the Sid betrayal thing. That was sort of my theory. Well, anyways, my main thoughts, though, for the 2 episodes, though, I'll just go ahead and give my main thoughts for the episodes, though. As a whole, the 2 episodes were good. I liked them. The first episode was better than the second one. And the first episode felt like it was going somewhere, character development and world building. You know, it had a bit of both. Honestly, that episode and the racing episode where they were Tech did the racing thing, I've talked about that one a lot. Those 2, I think, had the perfect mix of character development and world building, because we got to see other forms of racing in the galaxy. And we also got to, you know, see more of Sid's character, like what her reputation was and all that stuff. We got a glimpse of how she may be a sort of treacherous being. You know, stuff like that, you know. Let's see. Like David Icke always said, don't trust the lizard people. Sid is a reptilian humanoid, so that explains a lot. No, you're right. That's a nice comment. I like that. But yeah, you can't really seem like, especially after that episode, it's sort of sown the seeds of distrust. And after seeing what she did with the Bad Batch in that first episode that I'm talking about tonight. Oh, here's Chrono back. Yay.
Yeah, internet problems.
Internet problems?
Yeah,
it happens. Trust me, I know the feeling. But back to what I was saying, I sort of went on and continued what I was saying. But basically what I'm saying is, after we had seen, you know, that racing episode, we got to see that she's not exactly the most trustworthy person. And after watching the episode before last, we sort of get this idea that she's... I get the idea that she's like sort of getting fed up with the Bad Batch, or that she doesn't actually care about them. Because even though they had gotten the... dang it, I forgot the name of it again. What was the name of that stuff they got?
The Ipsium.
Ipsium. I was thinking somewhere close to that, but I couldn't remember it for some reason. But yeah, where they had finally succeeded in getting the Ipsium, where they finally succeeded in one of their tasks for Sid, everything goes wrong, and she can't even though they have the Ipsium, she can't even lift a finger to help them. She's like, nope, you're on your own. Yeah, I think that's a good sign right there that, it's about time that she's about to betray them or something like that. I honestly think that is about to happen. It'll either happen in this season or early in the next season, but I'm not even sure when that's going to happen. Even after when Sid says she'll help the Batch get off the planet in the crossing, they never hear back from her in Retrieval. Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that. She did say that she would help him get off the planet after they had persuaded her, but we never hear about that in Retrieval at all. So maybe this episode, maybe knowing this will give us hope for the next episode on Wednesday, that we'll get like a resolution to this conflict. Maybe something will happen in the next episode. Like, what is the name of the episode, by the way? They did release all the names of the episodes. So what's the name of the next episode that we're going to be watching? Let's see. I'm going to look it up. Unless you know it off the top of your head, Chrono. I don't know if you know it off the top of your head or not.
Which one? Sorry?
The next episode after Retrieval.
The next episode? Hold on a minute. Actually, I think there's another 2-part episode, I think.
Oh, is it? So I wonder, is it going to be one that like releases 2 episodes in a single day, like we got with the Clone Conspiracy and Truth and Consequences?
This last one was Retrieval, right?
Yeah.
Episode 10, Retrieval. Next one is Metamorphosis.
Oh, Metamorphosis.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't mean they're bringing the Power Rangers from Book of Boba
Fett. Well, I mean, they already gave us a Power Rangers-esque episode with the pirate lady and then the giant mecha robot thing.
Yeah.
I call that the Power Rangers episode. It just reminded me of Power Rangers for some reason.
Maybe that's it. Maybe she is the Power Ranger. She's going to show up again and morph into something.
Yeah. I just looked up, I'm not a fan of Rotten Tomatoes that much, but they have all the episode names on there too. And on a lot of them, which they haven't done it yet, but on a lot
here's
of them...
Here's the other names. That the last 2 are 2-part episode, the finale. It's called The Summit and Plan 99.
Oh, so okay. So it looks like Metamorphosis is going to be the only episode next Wednesday. Then The Outpost, Pabu, Tripping Point, and then on the last 2 episodes, they come out together. So The Summit and Plan 99. Okay. So the last 2 episodes are going to come out on the same day, and then the other ones are all single episodes. So Metamorphosis. I don't know what to think about that just yet. That's what Star Wars needs more: giant mechas or mechs from anime.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't get anything like that in Star Wars Visions. You know what? That is weird because it was a Japanese or a bunch of Japanese studios. You think one of them would have done a giant mecha robot fight thing,
Yeah,
or
probably.
Had an elite squad of colorful stormtroopers that had this armor that you would morph into like a Power Ranger. the color squad is what I'm going to call them. But
yeah, probably.
And then they have this giant Star Destroyer that transforms into just a fighting robot. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do that. You know what? That brings up a good point, Dr. Mad Studio. That brings up a good point.
Mm-hmm.
But back to what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, yes. The world building and the story together in that racing episode. I keep forgetting the name of it. I was just on the page, too, that I could look at the names. Hold on. It's going to kill me if I keep saying the episode that I don't know the name of. So I'm going to look it up real quick.
Faster.
So that one, Faster. Wow, how did I not? You know what? Well, anyways, in the episode Faster, this has been a great live stream. Very nice. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate that. Look, I've gotten better from my first episode because I was super nervous. It's really nice to be able to do this and not get nervous when speaking on the internet. I think I do a pretty decent job, even if I have like this weird stutter thing I do, you know. But I think I'm decent, you know. I think I'm decent. Not the greatest, of course, but I do appreciate you saying it's a great live stream. I really do appreciate that. Very nice. You know, I get a nice point. I get a nice point. I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, with the episode Faster, like we get world building, we get character development, and from multiple characters. But with certain episodes, such as this last one, the retrieval, we didn't really get any of the main characters developed. We just get them doing a thing, you know. And we get world building, but it's sort of pointless world building because it doesn't change anything in the main story. And I mean, well, there's no such thing as pointless world building. Let me take that back. World building in general is a good thing no matter what. But if you focus solely on world building, it does get to a point where it does feel pointless. Like if you're supposed to be telling a story, you're supposed to tell that story. And that's my only complaint for this season of The Bad Batch. I mean, because the only episode I really didn't like was the episode with the pirate lady. That's the only one I didn't like. And all the other ones, I like them. But it just feels like if they're going to do this with this season, the season need to be at least another 10 episodes long.
Yes.
Because this season feels like it should be a longer running season with all the filler they've thrown in. We do have 6 more episodes left. They may throw us for a loop and do all story episodes, you know, with a fair amount of world building and character development, but also telling the story. They could turn it around on us, you know, but I don't think that they're going to do that unless that is the plan. Like, give us a bunch of filler at first, make it seem like it's sort of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Make it sort of run slowly until it gets near the end and then escalate it. Let's see. Hold on. I think some of the writers for the Bad Batch are struggling with what they want to do with the show. I'm referring to the ones that have written the filler ones. You might be right there. You might be right there. Look, honestly, we made a mention about a year or so back. Actually, it was Commander Tano from earlier who mentioned there should be this show called The Book of Star Wars, where it's just a long show that covers multiple parts of the Star Wars universe, and it's sort of in the Clone Wars style, so it doesn't tell a long cohesive plot from beginning to end, but it just covers a bunch of different characters across a bunch of different parts of the timeline in a bunch of different parts of the galaxy. So it's, you know, you can tell like long story arcs of a certain character in this show, but it's still going to feel in a way like the Clone Wars. Now, this might be I might be explaining it terribly because she was the one that said it, and she did a better job explaining it than I am right now. But you know, it would be a Clone Wars style show that focused on many different characters and didn't give us this one long plot that they seem to be forgetting about in the Bad Batch because they keep writing too many filler episodes. That's the only complaint I have. It's a good, like the animation's good. Whenever they do the story, they do it great. I mean, just look at Palpatine's reveal in that episode. You know, when they revealed him and had him do turn the truth around on backwards, and you know, make everything work to his advantage, no matter what. You know, it just shows how cunning he is, and it's really nice. It's really nice to see those episodes, and honestly, we're not getting enough of that, and that's my only complaint. Other than that, everything that we've seen so far is good. Besides the pirate lady episode, I don't know why it just didn't feel like a Star Wars episode to me. It felt like it just felt off. In this week's episode of the Bad Batch, the Squad and Omega had to get their ship back again after it was stolen by Bob the Hobo. Bob the Hobo. Bob the Hobo. I'm not going to sing that. No, I'm going to sing it. Bob the Hobo. Can we steal it? Bob the Hobo. Yes, we can! I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
You're canceled. Yeah, no, beyond any doubt.
Yeah,
I'm going to get canceled.
I'm awaiting the mob on Twitter as we speak. I'm going to get notifications like, you should never sing that song again. You're so bad at singing. You're canceled. Ratio. Hashtag. You're stupid. But anyways, I don't really have much else to say about what we had just seen. I mean, the last two episodes didn't give us a whole lot to go on. They felt more like filler anyway. So I mean, because they were, but they didn't give us anything story-wise. Nothing really to theorize about. If we had gotten to stream last week, we would have had things to theorize about. I would have already mentioned how Sid could have been the one that set him up. I had things to say about it, but after they sort of didn't do that, I don't have much to say with this episode. The only thing that I can think about now, I mean, because he mentioned it, Dr. Matsuyo mentioned it earlier, that we haven't heard anything from her in this last episode, so maybe the next episode will have them confronting her about it. Who knows? If they decide to, follow a cohesive story like they have for most of the season so far. But you never know. They might as well play the Benny Hill theme at this point. I love that theme, but it would not work in Star Wars. But I guess it would here. I don't know. Because everything they do is a wild goose chase. That's what kills me. I really want to see them succeed. They've been built up as these unstoppable clones that have these insane abilities that help them do many different things that a normal clone couldn't do. But then here we are, every time they do something, it just ends up being either a wild goose chase or it's a failed, botched mission. And half the time, it's not their fault. It's something on the outside that decides to stop them from completing it, Or, it could just be some crazy lady wanting to search for treasure and ends up awakening a destructive mecha that wants to destroy their ship, particularly for some reason. It could have went anywhere else, but decided it wanted to go towards their ship. And, fire this laser beam at it, Like, what the heck was the point of that thing if it was just going to awaken to blow up everything? What was the point of it, Makes no sense to me. But, that's why I hate that episode so much. It didn't make sense. But, anyways, I'm going to stop talking about that episode now. Actually, do you have anything else to say about these episodes? Honestly, I think I've said what I really want to say.
I think we have. I mean, the episodes weren't bad per se, and the first one was very good. It's just that this show is going nowhere right now. And I feel the season finale is going to leave us just as the last season finale did. That two-parter is probably going to be very cool, and it probably will give us a lot more to think about, and more questions, no answers.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen.
In a way, I feel like that new. I'm going to say this before we end the stream. We're already at 2 hours now, so I think we're going to go ahead and end it in just a second. But first, before I do that, I feel like Metamorphosis might have something to do with that clone trooper that we seen in. You got to head off. Cheerio, buddy. Live long and prosper. I'm doing the hand thing. I promise. You can't see it, but I'm doing it. Live long and prosper, my friend. And thank you for being on the stream. We really appreciate you. You really helped us with our discussion and all that stuff. So I'm really happy that you showed up. Show up anytime you want to, buddy. It's always fun. And before we get off, what was I saying? What did I say last?
No,
can't
you were
even
talking
remember.
about this.
Oh yeah, the guy that was like
The
a
guy,
Dark
yeah,
Trooper prototype.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Metamorphosis might have something to do with that. Maybe we'll learn more about those guys. I mean, how can they just introduce one of those dudes and not expand on it? You know, I mean, this may be the Bad Batch season 2 we're talking about, yes, but how can they expand on, or how can they not expand on something like that? I feel like Metamorphosis might have something to do with that. Then again, I could be wrong. But you know, I really hope they expand on the, what I want to say is the prototype Dark Troopers. I already mentioned in the last episode of Star Wars Topics how what makes me believe that. I even gave proof as to why I believe that. So I honestly think they are the prototype Dark Troopers, and I just feel like maybe we're going to get more of that in this next episode. But then again, this is the Bad Batch season 2 we're talking about. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. The episodes have been good, except for that one that I really don't like. Other than that, it's been good. So I'm still looking forward to next Wednesday's episode. So
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. Hopefully, you know, it's a really good episode. I don't doubt it, but I really hope it follows the main story at this point, because we don't need another 3 filler episodes, then get another 2 story episodes,
Yeah.
and then get another 3 filler episodes. You know, that weird pattern that they're going with. You know, I mean, I know we're going to get at least 2 more story episodes because of the last 2 episodes. But that means that if they decide to do any more story episodes, we're going to get at the very least, if they have to have more filler, at least 1 or 2 more story episodes before those. That means about 2 or 3. I think, did I count right? About 2 or 3 of those other episodes are going to be filler if they continue on with this. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. I did enjoy the episodes. I wasn't trying to throw shade, but I did enjoy them. And, you know, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. I have faith that it will get better, especially with the last 2 episodes. I think it's going to get better. I like to be optimistic, you know. But anyways,
Yeah.
I think we're going to go ahead and head off here for tonight. So, if you like this video, or if you like the stream, please leave a like, leave a comment, maybe subscribe if you want to. I'd like to thank everybody that joined the stream today. Dr. Mad Studio, Lil Oak, talking to you guys. I'm giving you both nice points. If you ever come back and watch the end of this stream, you both get nice points. Anyways, that's all. So subscribe if you want to. I have links in the description. We have a Discord. We have a Twitter. You know, we have a Twitch. And I also have a playlist for every single Star Wars Topics episode. If you want to check out any previous ones that you haven't seen before, if you're new to this, you know, you can always take a look back at that. But anyways, that's where we're going to end it. So may the Force be with you, and have a good night. Okay? All right. I turned off the music. Okay, so here we go. Outro.